What is going on, you guys? Alright, so I'm excited for this review because when me and my sister were kids, we watched this movie on repeat. Alright, so as y'all know, I absolutely love the Lion King movies. And I can't contain myself. Let's get right into it. Here's my review of Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. Alright, so whereas the original Lion King was basically Hamlet, this one is Romeo and Juliet. Except it's someone that's the cub of this character named Zira that was a follower of Scar. That Scar basically picked as his successor. Not his son, but his successor. And Kiara, the daughter of Simba. And basically, Kovu and his pride were banished from the Pride Lands because of Simba, because they were loyal to Scar. And Scar, well, he kind of caught the case of the deads, basically. Honestly, they want to get revenge on Simba. And one day Kiara goes out, rummaging around the Pride Lands, and essentially she bumps into Kovu by accident. And they have this encounter with these alligators, and thankfully they get out alive. And then this happens.
Zero. Timon. Pumbaa. Great. Now that we all know each other, get out of Pride Land!
Okay, I don't care if I've seen this movie a jagillion times. That will always make me laugh. When Zero takes Kovu back to their pride, if you will, they come up with a plan that Kovu is to grow up being trained basically to be a massive killer. And he's to become good friends with Kiara, and then in turn get close to Simba and then kill him. That's basically the plot of the movie. But in the process of actually doing that, he falls in love with Kiara, and then he just decides he wants to be a legit Pridelander. Then Zero basically rats him out to Simba, and Simba does not trust Kovu. Basically, it's a case of the liar revealed, except this is one of the very rare cases where I can't complain about it, because it's pretty much valid. Due to an unfortunate series of events, Kovu's brother ends up dead. Basically he's our Tybalt, I guess, and he gets disowned by the outsiders, and he gets exiled from the Pridelanders. And then Kiara goes off to try to find Kovu, and together they decide that they're going to try to bring their prides together. And it works for the most part, but Zira can't let go of her loyalty to Scar, and she just decides that she wants to kill Simba, regardless of what is right, basically, and she ends up dead. And then the outsiders become Pridelanders officially, and they all live happily ever after. So yeah, I love this story, and it is an interesting and refreshing take on the Romeo and Juliet story. This might be a very odd comparison, but Simba's dynamic with Kiara is pretty much the same as sequel Balto to Alu, except Simba has a legit reason to be protective of Kiara, because he knows firsthand what it's like to be a reckless cub and the trouble that can come with it. And Nala even reminds him of this, and I think all of that is the reason he's so protective of Kiara, because he knows if he doesn't keep a close eye on her like Mufasa did for him, bad things are going to happen. And sure enough, he's right. Granted, he goes about it the wrong way, but still, I digress. And Balto, him being protective of Alu, is not really that justified because, well, the only thing he has to sort of justify it is how badly he was treated by other dogs. And speaking of Alu,
Nuka, where's Kovu? Did you leave him out there on his own again?
Hi, Lacey. Bye, Lacey. Now, Kiara.
You have to promise to let me do this on my own. Promise?
Does her voice sound familiar?
You know, using your one phone call to call me so that I wouldn't think it was you.
Hello, Sydney. And fun fact, Nev Campbell and Lacey were on a show called Party of Five together around the time that this movie was being made. So just a little tidbit. And like I said before, Kiara is a lot like Alu, except she doesn't have an identity crisis, and she knows to follow her. She basically follows her heart, and it leads to Kovu. Now, Kovu.
Simba is the enemy. I must kill him.
And maybe tell my father I love him. Now, that's Goofy's son Max behind that voice. And boy, he might be just a standard male character, but holy shit, that voice works. Like, I honestly believe he's gonna jump out of the screen and eat me alive. Like, seriously. Jason Marsden, just... Now, Zira, Kovu's mother, I'm just gonna say it, she doesn't give a damn about Kovu.
Need your pound of flesh. Here.
I honestly think that she had Kovu simply to have an heir to the pride, and no other reason. So, what I didn't like is this one little thing that's obviously Michael Eisner, the CEO of Disney at the time, he wanted to make sure that Kovu and Kiara were not cousins, because originally they were supposed to be cousins in the original script, but he basically changed it because, well, ew. But what he didn't take into account is that people aren't stupid. People can easily Google stuff about lions and know that because Scar and Mufasa were the only male lions at Pride Rock around the time that Simba was a cub. It's not really a demerit on this movie. It's just something it's just a demerit on the storyline altogether. Just like, you couldn't at least add more male lions to the pride just to add variety, just to make it more family friendly. Because seriously, it went over our heads as kids, but we have the freaking internet now. Come on. I absolutely love this movie, and honestly, I can't wait to show this movie to my goddaughter because, well, honestly, I love The Lion King, and she's only seen the first one so many times. It's about time that she saw the second one. And unlike most of the movies that were unlike most of the children's movies that were released at the time, this one doesn't have a whole lot of sexual innuendos.
What's your position? Upright, head turned slightly to the left, tail erect. Why do I bother?
Okay, I stand corrected. But anyway, I absolutely love this movie, and I'm glad I got to review it. Until next time, stay positive and stay awesome, everyone. See ya.